Good morning, children. Hope you are doing well at home and being safe. Today our class is about very interesting things which is surrounds of us. Before going to the class, I want to ask little questions regard to my topic. Question is, where will we live? Everyone knows about it. We lives on earth. It's not a perfect answer. Where is the exact place we have been live? That means you have to say your address. For example, I am at Mehboob and you are at particular places. Concern your places. Like for example, few people stay in Hyderabad, few people stay in a Rangareddy district or villages, something what your address is there. Likewise, each and every organism also lives there in particular places. That is the address of that particular animal. In biological manner, we cannot say it is address, we have to say it as a habitat. Habitat means where organism lives. Remember that part. Habitat means where organism lives. That point we are calling it as a habitat. And remember that, for example, if you see the slide particularly in this slide, if you observe that the animals are lion, rabbit and tiger and different plants, even some of the factors are present. In that case, can you say what is the habitat of lion? We can easily place that answer easily. Lion stays in forest. That means habitat of lion is forest. Even where do rabbit lives? Even forest. And what about the tiger's habitat? It is also forest. And this is what the habitat is. Habitat is a word which represents where organisms lives. Remember that. And one more point is niche. Niche is nothing but it is a word which represents what organism will do. For example, the same slide, if you look back again, in this case, lion, what the function it is doing in forest according to biology. For example, if you take a lion, lion is a carnivorous. That means lion's niche is carnivorous nature. For example, if you see the tiger, tiger's niche is also carnivorous. Then we have to say lion and tiger is belongs to same community. Remember that. Here it is, lion and tiger are carnivorous in nature. What about the rabbit? If you see, look at the slide carefully. Rabbit is what? Herbivorous. The niche of the rabbit in a forest is what? It is a herbivorous function. Remember that niche represents the function of the organism and habitat represent where animals or organisms lives. And even you can see the plants like mango plant is there and neem plant is there. The two plants are, what is the niche of that particular plant? It is niche which the plant is representing over there. They are acting as a producers. They are producing the food. Remember this slide very carefully. Here we taught two words. One is habitat and second one is niche. Remember that habitat is a word representing the habitat is a word representing the where it is present, address of that particular organism. And second word I taught, that is niche. Niche represent where organism doing the function and which kind of function it is doing. For example, I said carnivores, right? I said carnivores, and even herbivores, I said herbivores, right? Carnivores and herbivores, these are the certain functions which is done by the particular organisms. Not only that, I said even producers. It is also a function which is done by the plant, right? This is different kinds of the activities which is going to be do. And now our topic today is the relations between the organisms to organisms. For example, carnivores to how they are related to herbivores, herbivores how they are related to producers, and how they are present in particular certain environment like physical environment, how they are living, that we are going to discuss today. The branch that is going to be deals with a relation between the one organism to another and placing at certain environment, the relation of the branch, we are calling it as a ecology. Today's our topic is ecology, the branch of ecology we are going to deal. Look at the slide carefully. The branch of biology that deals with a relation of organisms to one another and to their physical surroundings. The branch we are calling it as a ecology. What is an ecology? Everyone knows about it. Now the branch which deals with a relations between the organism as well as with the physical surroundings. According to Ernest Haeckel, remember that the term of ecology is given by the Ernest Haeckel. His name is Ernest Haeckel, and what the ecology means is eikos. It is a Greek term which is nothing but it is a word which represents the home. Home means what? It is like where we are being placed. That it might be an organism's home, it might be the plant's home, it might be somewhat whatever the living system you are taking, that represents eikos. Eikos means home. Ecology, eikos, ecos, the word came eikos, that we are calling it as a eikos and ecology. And logos means study. Here the ecology means studying about the where they are living and what is the home of them. Right, this is a branch of ecology which deals. And even guys, not only Ernest Haeckel, few other scientists are there have been involved in an ecological manner. In that case, we have to remember one more scientist name. His name is Tansley. Remember that his name is A.G. Tansley. Tansley is a scientist name who coined the term of ecosystem. Ecosystem. The term of ecosystem is coined by the A.G. Tansley. His name is Sir Arthur Jensen Tansley, G. Tansley. It is a term given by, his name is Tansley. Remember that. And he is the one who did coin the word of ecosystem. And one more thing you have to remember, ecosystem is a structural as well as functional unit of the structural as well as functional unit of the total ecology. If you want to read ecology, you have to know structural and functional units of that particular ecology. Then you have to know which one is that unit. That is, ecosystem is a structural and functional unit of the ecology. Remember that this word. And now we learned about the habitat and niche and as well as ecosystem concept. Now we directly go into the components what are present in that particular ecosystem. If you see that particular slide, you will able to understand clearly what are the components are majorly present in that particular ecosystem. Look at that. Ecosystem requires different components like biotic as well as abiotic factors. Remember that ecosystem is a structural and functional unit we said, and how many factors are present? Abiotic factors are there as well as biotic factors are there. There is a two different components are present in that particular ecosystem. If you see that abiotic factor, there is a climatic factors are there. Climatic factors we can say, those are includes, climatic factors include, look at that carefully, rain will come, rain also affects that climate, and light affect the climate, and even we can take different factors like a temperature affect the ecosystem, and even water affects the ecosystem. These are the different kinds of climatic factors are there that is going to be affecting the particular ecosystem. That means these are acting as a components. Remember that these are acting as a components. That means those are the structural parts which is present in a particular ecosystem. In this case, these are the different factors which is present. Even though there is a little word came, edaphic factors. Remember this word is very important. You have to know geography of the earth, then you will, if you know about the geography of earth, then you might have been heard this word carefully. You might heard somewhere. Edaphic, it's related to earth or soil. That means edaphic factors means whichever the factor involves in a soil, that indicates the edaphic factors. Like we can say the terms which will come like a soil or a pH of the soil or other factors like what we can say. You can see in the in the slide. For example, edaphic factors like minerals are there, pH is there, and even soil is there. Those are act as edaphic factors. Those were also included in where we can say in the components of the ecosystem. Remember that these are the edaphic factors, right? And even guys, one more thing you have to remember, what are the biotic components? Biotic components means living components. What are the living components present in that particular ecosystem? Remember that, right? In this case, living factors we further divided. You can see in the slide even. One is producers. Producers means by using of the light energy, they are producing the food components. Especially plants acts as a producers. Not only that, algae act as a producers. This is the best examples for the producing organisms. And not only that, a second component, biotic component, is consumers. Now I will stay back here because a lot of assets will come in the consumers. Consumers are nothing but it's a word. What it is representing? It is using. Whom it is using? It has to use whether, look at that, it has to use something what components from here. That's way we are calling it as a consumers. In that case, consumers were divided into majorly three types. One is primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Few ecosystems consisting even quaternary consumers also. Now you have to understand the concept behind of this particular consumers concept. For example, guys, primary consumers, if you take, primary consumers depends upon whom? Producers. Primary consumers depends upon producers. Remember, consuming primarily, that is the way we are calling it as a primary consumers, which depends upon the producers. And second one, secondary consumers, which has to depend for their food or habituation. For that purpose, they are depending on, especially for food activity, they are depending upon the primary consumers. That is the way we are calling it as a secondary consumers. And what the tertiary consumers indicate? Tertiary consumers has to depend for their food on secondary consumers. Here it is the last one, quaternary consumers, that has to be depends upon the tertiary consumers. It is like a chain-like system which has to be dependent on. Then you can ask the question, you can pose the question like quaternary is depending on tertiary, tertiary is depending on secondary, secondary is depending on primary. Then what about the producers, where they are dependent on and whom they are dependent on? That we have to pose a question on ourselves. They are dependent on abiotic factors. For example, if there is no light, then how come plants produces the food material? If there is no rain, the water will not come. How come the plant will get survive? These are the aspects where the plants or producers being dependent on that particular abiotic factors. Remember that consumers depending on one and each other, and producers depend on abiotic factors. Not only producers, consumers also depends on abiotic factor, so that it is nothing but it is been interaction between the one organisms to another organism with their physical environment. That is why we are calling it as a ecology. Ecology means one organism is depending on other. For example, you can take a primary consumer's example. What you can take best example is a rabbit. Rabbit you can take. Rabbit is what it will eat? It will eat producers. That is why we are calling it as a primary consumer. Who eats a rabbit? Now you can easily say the answer. I'll say this example for this. Who eats a rabbit? You can take fox, you can take tiger, you can write anything. That's what it will come. Likewise, you have to take, like, each and every ecosystem will not consisting of 4 assets, but it is somewhat it is been. Like, for example, you can take vultures as a best example for the what we can say in the case of the quaternary consumers you can take, right? And snakes are the best example for the tertiary consumers. And even you have to make confirm that every time rabbit is primary consumer only, but tiger might be a secondary, sometimes it will be a tertiary also. In higher level of education system, you will used to know how to place these organisms are being. Hope so you are being learnt about the components of the ecosystem. Just look at the slide carefully. You can note down and make a screenshot of it. You can be discuss about that. You can make a debate on yourself also. What kind of debate you can make? One group you can take a abiotic factor, second group you can take biotic factor. Which one is the best? You can make it at a debate, and you can be in village learning circles. You can do this activity. And the next one here, I am giving a small assignment to on online only. You can pose a comment even like your answer. Look at that slide carefully. Here it is. What the first image indicating? Soil. Is that soil is a abiotic or biotic? Just make an answer over there. Soil is a, what the answer is? You can pose. And what about the rabbit? Is that biotic or abiotic? Or consumer, or which consumer it is, or producer, which you have to answer for each and every image which is present on that slide. Hope so you will do that. And even there is a sun is there, and water is there, and mango tree is there, neem tree is there, lion is there. You have to find which factor, which component which is present in that particular ecological components. This is a assignment for that class. And now we are going for the types of the ecosystem. Look at carefully that slide, guys. What is that slide indicating? That types of the ecosystem. What are the types of ecosystems are there? Generally, ecosystems are majorly 2 types only present. One is artificial, second one is natural ecosystem. Remember that concept. The types of ecosystems majorly only 2 types are there. One, I can say the natural ecosystem. One is natural ecosystem, and the second one is artificial ecosystem. In that case, I gave only one in that. First one is natural ecosystem. Look at that carefully, the natural ecosystem types on it. For example, if you go with a natural ecosystem, what you have? You have a different types are there. One, we can call it as a terrestrial or aquatic. Aquatic are there. Aquatic means related to water, and even terrestrial is also present. Terrestrial also present. Remember that these are the 2 major ecosystems are there. And in aquatic, you can take that pond is a best example for it, and pond, lake will come, sea will come, ocean will come. These are the different kinds of aquatic ecosystems are there. What about the terrestrial? Can you say terrestrial means land? Then which kind of ecosystems those are present? For example, especially you can take desert. Deserts are the best examples for it. Even you can take a forest as a best example for this. And you can take many other terrestrial examples like grasslands you can take. These are the different types of terrestrial ecosystems are there. And what about the artificial ecosystem? Artificial means nothing but it is a hand-made one and human-made ecosystem. I have a artificial ecosystem for you. I will show you the how the artificial ecosystem is going to be formed. For example, if you see this particular basket, I hope so, you are going to see this particular what we can say image. You may get this by, for example, in the certain cases, artificial ecosystem, look at carefully. I prepared myself by doing of this activity. In this case, what I did is, I took on a water, in that I added the soil, even somewhat rocks I added. Look at that carefully. Here you can see the rocks and stones are there, and even little plants and grassy materials are present. Even somewhat fishes also present in inside of it, but we are unable to see. Small little organisms are there. That means you can create yourself. It should be get open while after preparing of it, because we should get a light, and always we have to take it as a factors whichever the naturally present, that we have to immerse that factors into this, because light should be trapped, because that is the way we have to take a transparent one, and water should be get cleaned every time, because it should be get adapted to that particular organisms which is present in that, and it is like a aquarium. Aquarium is one of the best example for the artificial ecosystem. And can you guess, guys, in this, which one is a producer over here? Can you guess? The grass is the producer, and the remaining plants are the producers. And what are the consumers over here? The fishes are there inside of it, and those are fishes act as a consumers. And little insects are there, those are act as a consumers. Likewise, the ecosystem is consisting of different components, and that components will be comes like this. And now, how you can say that artificial ecosystem example? What is an example? We can say that aquarium is a example for the what we can say artificial ecosystem. Aquarium is an example for the artificial ecosystem. Remember that word; it is very important. In this case, guys, and you have to note down that particular slide. What is that? Natural ecosystem, how many are there? Aquatic ecosystem is there, terrestrial ecosystem is there, and that marine, freshwater, all this I placed on a chart. And not only that, now how to construct the food web. This is I given an image, that construction of food web. I taught even that topic, how one organism is depending on other, then you have to understand how it is going to be adapted to that one organism with another. For example, in certain case, look at this food web, you can construct on yourself also. Look at that food web. What is here? The bottom of that particular organism, that is what? Corn plant. Corn plant is who eating that corn plant? Grasshopper. And here you can take that rat, it is eating the grasshopper, and python is eating a rat. In certain case, what you can say, the corn plant is a producer, and grasshopper is a primary consumer, and rat is a secondary consumer, python is acting as a tertiary consumer. If you can take eagle, eagle is a what? Quaternary consumer. Remember that every aspect is came in this aspect. Look at that carefully. Here you can observe very clearly. That is nothing but corn plant is a producer, grasshopper is a primary consumer, rat is a secondary consumer, python is a tertiary consumer, and eagle is acting as a quaternary consumer. You can construct easily the food web by using of this. This is one of the grassland ecosystems consideration. Not only that, you can take another aspect. For example, even you can take here it is, I can say the best example, that second one also you can construct, like a food chain you can construct, not food web. That corn plant and grasshopper, frog, up to this one level, and python, and its came. Likewise, you can easily drag according to that, and you can place the answers of this. And can you have a project work for this also? You have to construct your own food chain. I'll give you at the last at the end of this session. And look at that chain, it is been like this. it has to be construct every time. This is a web. Why we are calling it as a web? Because arrows are like a randomly placed according to the what food it is taking. That is a way it is known as a food web. Remember that. It is very, very, very important. And meanwhile, this is one aspect, and next after the food chain we have a ecological pyramids. What ecological pyramids indicate? Ecological pyramid, at the bottom of the ecological pyramid, every time there should be a producers. Producers should be present at the bottom of the pyramid, and second it has to come herbivores, that is nothing but it is a primary consumers, and the second and third level what it has to be consisting of primary carnivores, that is nothing but carnivores we can take, and we can take carnivorous animals like tertiary consumers are also we can take according to it. For example, if you look at that slide carefully, in that slide the first level is producers. That ecosystem is what? It is like a grassland ecosystems biomass. Then what? You can take forest ecosystem as a biomass pyramid. In that case what it is, look at that carefully, and here in this the first level what it is came? It came like the first level came with a producer, and producers are what? Producers in the forest, the biomass is nothing but it's a weight of the plants. Then the weight of the plants is more when comparing with the consumers, that is nothing but primary consumers. Primary consumers are less weight comparing with the producers. That is a way we placed a smaller ratio. If you take secondary consumers, those are very less comparing with primary consumers. Then what will happen? If you take tertiary consumers, those are less weight than the secondary consumers. Likewise, if you draw that particular pyramid, what will happen? You will get upright pyramid. Upright pyramid. Upright is nothing but it is going, while it is going to the top, what it is going to be happen? It is becoming narrow. In mathematical equation you can find that it is a pyramid shape. It's nothing but it is upright pyramid. You can find that one, right? And it has to be very clear. Not only that, you can construct for different ecosystems also. Not every time pyramid is not been upright. Remember that. Look at that slide carefully. That second pyramid is B pyramid is inverted pyramid. Why it is inverted pyramid? For example, it is a number pyramid actually. What I drawn here, this is a biomass pyramid. If you take a number pyramid of a single plant ecosystem, don't consider that every number pyramid is inverted. The number pyramid in the case of the single plant ecosystem, then how many plants are there? Only single plant is there. Only one plant. On that, how many primary consumers are there? For example, ants are the primary consumers. That means lot of ants are present. And ant-eating lizards were there. Likewise, if you take that, then what will happen? The pyramid will be little inverted in shape. That is a way the ecological pyramid of number pyramid, in the case of single plant ecosystem, it will be inverted in nature. Remember that, inverted in nature. Even though you can take number pyramid in grassland, it is a upright pyramid that you can see in a slide. That slide shows the upright pyramid for a grassland ecosystem, and number pyramid only upright in the grassland, but it is but it is inverted in the case of the, especially if you take one plant here and the lot of consumers are there and small consumers other than this, a lot is there. That is the way it is inverted in state. Remember that this is. But one case everyone has to be note down, that an energy pyramid is always upright. It is not at been every time it won't get changed according to the nature of the ecosystem. Every ecosystem, all ecosystems has to follow that energy pyramid is always been in the case of the upright only. Energy pyramid, look at that slide carefully. Upright energy pyramid is always upright. That means energy will be stored in the case of producers, then it will goes to reduces 10%. And then after 1%, 0.1%, if you see that particular slide, you will able to understand that every time energy pyramid is upright only. I have a little projects work for you to do at home. Construct a food web of a paddy field. Go into the paddy field, and what are the producers you will find, and what are the consumers you will find, what are the primary consumers, what are the secondary consumers, like earthworms are there, which will act as a decomposers, and even insects are there which will act as a consumers over there. Then you have to construct a food web, what I shown in the slide, that you have to follow. And one more is prepare a small aquarium by using of domestic material, like how I prepared myself. I prepared that particular small aquarium. It's not to be cost effective. It should be prepare on yourself by using of domestic material. For example, in this what we have a domestic material, a glass jar we have, and we have a little plants and insect inside and fishes inside. Need not to be go for the cost effective material. Just you can prepare and see how the ecological components are affecting that particular ecosystem. I hope so you have been enjoying this particular class, and guys, do the projects very well and be safe at home, and thank you.